Walking across the Brooklyn Bridge could work up quite an appetite, which is why we're showing you the top food spots and hidden gems in DUMBO, Brooklyn's most popular neighborhood for tourists and an underrated foodie destination. Let's eat. Steps from the Manhattan Bridge is a hole-in-the-wall noodle shop that could be one of the best hidden gems in the entire area. After you. What do you think?
I didn't know what to expect because of the outside, but it's so cool. Like, they did such a great job with that small space. I really like that part.
I got the vibe like we stepped into somewhere in, I don't know, Tokyo, in a little small noodle shop. Could you tell us like the story of how Lucky Rabbit came to be?
Yeah, I took this space during COVID, but I've lived in this neighborhood for 13 years, so I kind of knew exactly what the neighborhood needed. And actually during the branding process and during the development process, my little bunny rabbit passed away. And then I decided to name it after him, so I came up with the name Lucky Rabbit. The menu's a fusion of a lot of my travels around the world. I lived in Bangkok for 3 years, and I've been a chef for almost 30 years now. But this is mainly food that I would cook for myself. I just needed an outlet to put this menu together. So I tried to make it as vegan as possible. Almost the entire menu, we can do vegan option or with our protein.
What would you say are your best sellers?
We have two signature dishes. My braised beef noodles, and we have our spicy chili garlic chicken. Our dumplings are really popular. We make truffle mushroom sweet potato dumplings. We make matzo ball soup dumplings.
I'm curious, what are the challenges of running a business in a space this small?
Running a business is challenging in any regards, but we're limited here. You know, I only have 2 fridges. All the food we have for the day is what we have. Everything is fresh every day. I go to the market every day, bring in fresh product because we don't have space for more than that. We're gonna make the braised beef dish. These are our Shanghai noodles. So we get these fresh every day from Chinatown. Big handful of those. Those will cook for 2 minutes. So this is a 12-hour braised brisket. We cook it on this hot overnight. We turn the broth that it cooks in into a really nice, thick, creamy sauce. We put a bunch of fresh Thai basil in there, scallions, and then we're just gonna warm this up. Nice, brown, crispy. We just add that in with the beef. All right, and then we'll put that in a bowl. So we add a little bit of our ginger scallion sauce to the top of that. Finish with more scallions, cilantro, fried shallots, kazami shoga ginger. So that's the beef dish, braised beef noodles. This cucumber dish is like my personal favorite dish. I love it. Start with a couple of handfuls of nice organic crushed cucumbers, cilantro, more Thai basil, scallions. Our ginger scallion sauce. Sauce is inspired by the great New York noodle town in Chinatown. So I just did my version of that. This is tahini, so chili lime powder, fried shallots. This is mushroom seasoning. It's an interesting ingredient. This is what we use for salt. So this is just a mushroom concentrate. It adds like a real interesting flavor to our dishes. Squeeze a lime in here, and then we finish with kazami shoga ginger. It's a salt-cured pickled ginger. The matzo ball soup dumplings, we're making these cute little cups. These are the dumplings. They're a matzo ball filling with chicken, so those are gonna go in there. We have some delicious chicken soup. Has a bit of more Asian flavor than a standard chicken broth. Put up some water on there, and then cover it up. We'll just add a little bit more of that chicken soup. Some nice fried shallots, and some fresh dill. All right, that's it, man. And then we'll do the same thing with the truffle mushroom sweet potato dumpling. These are a vegan dumpling we make. Same treatment on this one too. So that's gonna crisp up on one side, steam on the other side. Black truffle sauce we make. So that's black truffle with activated charcoal, vegan mayo. We'll put some scallions on there. A little bit of that fried shallot. Some of that nice red ginger. That's our truffle mushroom sweet potato dumplings. A couple of our signature dishes.
It is amazing what you can do with only 300 square feet of space. Like all these imaginative dishes and the different plays on your typical Chinese, Taiwanese, Asian cuisine. We got their signatures in front of us. What are you thinking looking at this?
Everything looks so good. I don't even know where to start. Like,
I want her to start with the chicken and matzo ball soup dumplings, which went viral on the internet. And I am going to have the truffle mushroom sweet potato dumplings. I love the presentation too, before we even take a bite.
This watery. Here we go.
Yep. The first thing that comes to mind for me here is how balanced all the ingredients and the flavors are. I've never had a dumpling quite like this before, but as somebody that loves sweet potato, love truffles, the combination, the textures, it's so good.
There are so many flavors going on. They hit you one after another.
I mean, matzo ball soup, very popular in New York, huge Jewish community, but matzo ball dumplings, should this be a thing?
This is a thing right now. Right here. Love it.
The Eastern Cukes, this was Jeremy, the owner's favorite on the menu. I didn't know vegetables could be this tasty. This is how you get your children who don't like vegetables to eat their vegetables, right?
I can stop eating them.
It's got the Asian marinade, the tagine, scallion, cilantro, kasumi ginger.
Oh my goodness.
You can see the thought that went into each and every ingredient here.
Everything.
We're about to dive into the signature, which is the Lucky Rabbit braised beef and nudes. Braised prime beef, onions, scallions, fried shallots, cilantro, lime, and of course, the noodles.
Here we go.
All right, ready? I just tried the beef so far. I haven't even really played with the noodles yet. So juicy, so tender. Oh, I steal some of yours?
Yep.
We're battling right now.
Yes, we are. You can feel the meat melting in your mouth with all those delicious juices going on.
It's definitely the owner's take on it, and I like what he said. Like, this is the type of food he wants to eat when he's home and he's relaxing. It's its own unique style, and I mean, that's what I love about filming in New York. You get so many different fusions, so many originals being developed. This is definitely one of my favorite hidden gems that we've come to in a really long time.
I'm speechless.
All right, never had a matzo ball dumpling before. You know, I grew up with matzo ball soup. I would have preferred these matzo ball dumplings in my matzo ball soup, to be honest with you.
Next year for Passover.
Lately, I've been on a vegan kick on the channel. Vegan Thai iced tea. Never tried that before. It's not overly sweet. I've had too many of these that are just too darn sweet, but this one.
Yeah, you're right. It's so good. Thank you.
Oh, see?
I like everything. I can stop eating everything.
What's also great about this menu is most of the things are vegan if they don't have meat and gluten-free. You're traveling and somebody in your group has dietary restrictions. This is a good spot. Although I wouldn't recommend you bringing 10 friends here. You're probably not going to get a seat. As you can imagine, could be busy here. Might have to take the food outside. That's okay. Eat it with a view.
Once you step inside, you really forget where you are. And then when you get your food, you definitely forget everything. You're like, where am I?
That's what good food can do, for sure. Take you away from your worries for a little bit. And this definitely qualifies. If you've never been to DUMBO before, a couple years back, we shot a really detailed guide on all the top attractions in the neighborhoods. So after you watch this, you may want to check it out. Inside the doors of this very touristy food hall could be one of the best barbecue spots in all of New York. Right back through here, Bark Barbecue. Dominican, Texas style. And it's no shock that they have by far the longest line in the entire market.
Bark Barbecue is basically a silver lining of the pandemic. I was cooking in the backyard, fell in love with barbecue through a YouTube video, went down that rabbit hole, ended up buying a gas-assisted smoker, and here we are.
How did you come up with the whole Dominican meets Texas style?
I wanted to know how I can actually merge and integrate my culture and my flavors into barbecue. Luckily enough, everybody's been really receptive to it and really open to trying these new flavors.
Have you ever had people from Texas come in and tell you what their take is on this?
There's quite a lot of people from Texas that have came. We just had a huge editor of Texas Monthly come through, have our food. Right now, barbecue has what I would call a barbecue boom. So you have people from all different types of countries, colors and flavors just coming in and trying to do their own thing.
What would you say makes your style Dominican?
We use imported Dominican oregano on all our meats. When you really think about Texas barbecue, you think about salt and pepper and probably some other things, but you wouldn't think about oregano, a lot of chili powders. And one of the sleepers I would have to say that everybody ends up loving is the maduros. Everybody, when they come and they have the maduros with those fatty meats, they're actually very pleasantly surprised that it goes so well.
What are your best sellers?
So I have to say, obviously brisket. Also our chicharrón, Dominican style, which is basically skin on pork belly. We smoke it and we fry to order. So it's something that's really, really nice, fatty, crispy. And then our smoked carnitas. In the Dominican, we do carnita de res, so it's with beef. Usually you'll find that in Mexico to be with pork, but we do it with beef.
How does it feel when you look out and you see this like a long line waiting?
Oh, it still doesn't hit me yet that people actually wait online for the food. People act like I want them to wait online. I wish I can go through the line fast. So here's a brisket. This is our #1 seller. So now I'm gonna split this down the middle. So So we got our lean, we got our fatty. Mucha grasa. She wants mucha grasa, meaning a lot of fat. So these are Texas burn ends right here. Our brisket, we season the day before the cook. Since it's such a thick piece of meat, it allows like the salt and all the spices to actually penetrate. We're talking about probably like a 14, 15 hour cook. And we do prime brisket, so it's a little bit more forgiving in terms of rendering fat. That's the fatty part of the brisket. Great quality meat, great cook. So that's our chicharrón, that's our pork belly skin on. Smoke it for about 6 hours and fry to order. Otro de chicharrón, el otro ribs. That's the beautiful thing about barbecue. People meet each other on the line, they're already conversing, interacting. And sometimes I don't even gotta advertise the food. Like the lovely lady right there just advertised the food. That's our mac and cheese, famous mac and cheese. So these are our ribs. Our ribs are smoked for like about 7 hours. Yeah, we do like a little glaze with our molasses-based barbecue sauce. Two chopped chicharron and brisket sandwich. That's a very popular sandwich. So this is something that one of my guys here, Julio, came up with. Somebody wanted both, so he just chopped it up all together. And it's a great mix. And it's a pretty basic sandwich. Some pickled onions for some acidity to go through the fat, but it's just a great bite. And this is where I have to say where the Dominican and the Texas style merge together. And our pulled pork that we season kind of like South Carolina style. So we make like our own little vinegar sauce. We didn't even plan on being like a well-known sandwich spot. When you have the right combination of things and they just click.
We've got about 50 pounds of barbecue here. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to eat this. All right, Adriana has been waiting ever so patiently for this.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of meat.
I don't even know what to start with.
Pulled pork.
Pulled pork.
Yeah.
I like pulled pork. Alright. Oh my god. Like I felt a Dominican twist right there.
You know, what he said that stood out to me about like the Dominican side was, one, they import oregano from the DR, the molasses as well for their barbecue sauce, also from the Dominican Republic. So there's those little subtleties with the meat that you can notice. And Bark Barbecue, changing up the game a little bit with this fusion. This brisket, so tender. Love the fatty part of it.
Oh, it's so good.
Now, if anyone's curious how much this would have cost, the answer is I have no idea. He generously gave us this entire platter to show you guys. I imagine it would have been pretty costly to do all of this. Chicharron, probably the most Dominican thing on the menu. And he was actually putting a sandwich together that was half chicharron, I think half pulled pork. And he said, like, this is the fusion that we're talking about. Let me see. The chicharron is has like a smoky pork flavor, and the pork grind's really, really crunchy. What I found interesting was he was equally as excited about the side dishes as he was about the main courses, because a lot of these have that Dominican flair to them, a Dominican spin, like Adriana's favorite, Maduros.
Yeah, I've been in like a couple barbecue spots in the US. And I've never seen Maduros, of course, and they are my favorite, so I love seeing them here.
Try it.
Of course, you never had to tell me twice. Oh, they're so good. You haven't tried Maduros, you have to try them because you're missing so much.
Try this mac and cheese with me.
I already tried it, and it's not just your regular mac and cheese. It's like something my Latin grandma will make. For me, she made mac and cheese.
Took the words out of my mouth, minus the Latin grandma part. Like, this is taking like the boring American mac and cheese
Definitely.
and elevating it with those Dominican spices. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to move from here. You know, if you've eaten barbecue in Mexico before, okay? Maybe there's a little Texas influence there as well. Have you ever had anything quite like this before, though?
This is the first time that I see this combo with like Latin style with barbecue style, and I think I'm more into this. Like I was looking for my Latin side, and this is perfect for me.
I'm starting to notice this trend. The more videos we film, a lot of people say we started our business during the pandemic because people had all this time to experiment with stuff, to try new things. For people who don't know, there's not just one type of American barbecue, whether it's like Carolina style, Texas style, Kansas City style. This is something new. It's pretty neat. That's a queso frito.
Queso frito. Oh wow, very Latin.
Yeah? Of all the things we saw being prepped in front of us, nothing got my mouth watering like their ribs. It's gonna get messy, folks. So tender, it comes right off the bone. I keep thinking back to what he said about the molasses being this missing ingredient for this Dominican Texas fusion, and I'm really feeling it in that barbecue sauce here. I'm gonna take a bite. What do do you think?
So tender, and I love the smoky flavor.
You eat at enough of these restaurants that are doing well, you start to see little similarities. Like owners who love their job and love talking to people.
Yeah.
You ever gonna look at barbecue the same way again?
I think this place has spoiled me really bad right now.
You wanna tell me in the comments, what other barbecue spots should I try in New York? I do wanna try some good barbecue. Tell me where. I always had a certain expectation for barbecue. I know what to expect, and with this, expect the unexpected. I wanna try something new. Bark, very interesting choice. It's worth the wait, trust me. Now, I know some of you may say, why did I not include one of the famous pizza spots in this video? Giuliano's or Grimaldi's. The reason I didn't include them is because you need a whole pie there, and I wanted to open up the audience to different spots outside of the super famous ones here in Dumbo. But if you're curious, we did an entire video about Giuliano's versus Grimaldi's a few years ago, if you want to see my impressions of them. On one of the most beautiful streets in one of the most beautiful neighborhoods is our stop for dessert at this little bakery.
I'm really excited to see what I'm gonna find behind those doors.
This is a bakery that you just gotta stop by. Now, I did speak to the owner, Hervé, and he said, I don't want to talk on camera. My food does the talking for me. I respect that. This whole neighborhood is just one big postcard, honestly.
I never thought I was gonna say like, oh, I'm here under the Brooklyn Bridge, drinking a coffee with a pastry, but here we are.
Here we are. Let's start with Madeleine's.
These are my mom's favorites. So if I like them, I'm gonna bring my mom here. I'm bringing my mom here.
See? And we're another customer. They're soft, little sweet. And Madeleine's are from northeastern France. Perfect with coffee. So these are big in Mexico too.
Really big.
So for the main event, I have read that their croissants are some of the best in all of New York City. And we have the chocolate, where the chocolate is just baked right inside. Wow. So flaky, so crumbly, and I bit right into that rich chocolate in the middle.
Yes, they're right. This is one of the best croissants I've had in New York City.
Yeah, the bakery's been around since the early 2000s, which is probably outdated a lot of other businesses here. When you look at how much it costs to rent in a neighborhood like Dumbo, and you saw how busy they were, you know they're doing something right. And it's, it's more than just pastries. They also do have some sandwiches if you want a quick lunch inside. I think the play is take some stuff to go, walk around the waterfront, and she steals my food, see? The only thing missing right now that would have made this perfect would be the sun. If the sun was out, that's it. One of the top Brooklyn experiences you could have, exploring Dumbo with some good coffee and some amazing croissants.
I think every time someone mentioned Dumbo, I was like, oh, it's go walk by the water, get a coffee, and that's it. But now I'm seeing that it's way more than that.
I think for the longest time, Dumbo was seen as this wasteland for food, and we're seeing more and more interesting places pop up where, it's not just a place you come to get a pie from Giuliano's or Grimaldi's. There's so much more, and hopefully seeing all these spots gave you some good ideas. Now that you know where to eat in Dumbo, let's continue this Brooklyn food tour in Williamsburg, another really cool neighborhood. In fact, you could combine these two for one incredible food adventure day.